My neighbors are having a party upstairs. Please don't mind the noise. They do this every Friday. Unfortunately, I am filming on a Friday because guess what? Today is 1 year since I started studying Japanese. It's a very special anniversary for me. It's something that I've been looking forward to ever since I started studying Japanese because it was just like, you know, this milestone that I didn't know if I was ever going to reach, but I did reach it. I was expecting for Duolingo to do something a little bit special because it was 1 year on Duolingo as well.
That's it?
But it was quite anticlimactic, so I bought some Japanese snacks and drinks. I don't really care. And we're gonna try them to make this day a little bit more special. This is from Mononoke. I've paused it on Netflix, and this is my screen now. Actually, I've had 2 of the drinks already, because I got the package a little bit earlier in the week. Horoyoi Momo Peach. Very, very light alcoholic drink. And then I've also had the Yebisu beer. I think it was my first time trying both. They were lovely. I also ordered 2 of these by accident. Suntory Highball. I never drink whiskey. I really regret having bought 2 cans. It's not really for my taste. So I will not be drinking this today either. It will just stay here on display. I really liked this, so I'm sure I'll like this because it's the same thing, just a different flavor. This one's plum. I need to get the microphone in. I'm about to do a little toast. By the way, I'm like in the middle of moving, so this room is genuinely empty. And I'm just toasting in an empty room by myself, but content. Cheers. You know what it tastes like? We have compote. It's essentially boiled fruits with sugar that are kind of kept in a jar and are served as a drink or a food. This tastes like plum compote with just a little bit of alcohol in it, and it's delightful. I think I should stop speaking into the microphone because I just brought it out for the toast, but it's so addicting. When I say that I can't put this away, I literally cannot put this away. My previous video is the proof. I've got 2 kinds of chips / crisps, whatever word you prefer. Dashi shoyu flavored crisps, which is like a broth / stew. I don't know. I'm intrigued. It doesn't have a significant smell. It just smells like potato chips, like salted ones. It's pretty much just a regular crisp. Wait, no. The flavors are revealing themselves. You can taste like something else in it. Is good. No complaints. It's a very pleasant, mild flavor. Let's talk about my Japanese journey a little bit. It all began when I quit my job over a year ago. It was a job that I really, really wanted at the beginning, but then it turned out to be super toxic. After that, I was jobless and looking for jobs for about 6 months. And within the first couple of months of that period, I suddenly just randomly started watching anime here and there. This is a major weeb alert, by the way. I just suddenly got the urge to just try studying a little bit of Japanese. Japanese was completely alien to me at the beginning. So it's very exciting to be here a year later, being able to say that I can understand about 20 to 30% of what's being said. So, you know, starting from 0, that's quite exciting. Wasabi crisps. I wonder if they're spicy. Let's around and find out. Smells very mild. It's kind of playful, because when I first tasted it, I was like, oh, is it gonna hit me really bad right now? But it's like, nah. It like just rushes in like a gentle wave and then moves away. You know what these call for? Some beer. Yebisu, this is the blue one. Let's get wasted. This one feels like it's floral / fragrant, which is like bullshit. because this has nothing to do with flowers or fragrances. It tastes like you need to be wearing like a silk shawl and some big amethyst rings while you're drinking this. Alright, so I think it's time for something sweet. What is this? Ankomochi? I still don't know this kanji. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to cook these? Let's forget about this. Since I wanted bread, it's just a little bread slash cake. Oh, it smells so lovely. I think I'm gonna finish it right now. So simple yet so good. Okay, let's talk about what I liked slash discovered this year relating to Japanese anime and TV shows.
It's time to get super weeby.
Unfortunately, my Japanese journey started with, drum roll please, Ouran High School Host Club. No shade, it's a great piece of anime. It's really fun. It's a good time. The second anime that I watched was Jujutsu Kaisen, and actually this was not my first time trying to watch it. I just couldn't get into it, but after finishing Ouran High School Host Club, I was like, maybe I can go for Jujutsu Kaisen. I don't know how that's related, but somehow it worked and I managed to finish it. My favorite was this. It made me feel alive. At around the same time, I randomly just picked GTO on Netflix. I definitely did not like the pervy stuff and it put me off all the time, but I just kind of persevered with the show. And some of the comedic moments were truly brilliant, and the show definitely does have like a certain appeal and charm to it, even though I did have to like kind of force myself to like fully get through it and watch it all. I really only have like pretty much good memories of the show. Okay, so this is also a wasabi flavored pea snack.
Okay, pause. The website that I bought this from describes it as a pea snack. A pea snack. Turns out it has nothing to do with peas. Not a single little bit of pea in there. In this video, I continue to describe it as a pea snack, but unfortunately, it is not a pea snack.
So this stick is made out of peas, I assume. Strong pea scent.
Jesus Christ.
The first bite doesn't really give you much of an impression, but within the second bite, it's really addicting. The wasabi is just the faintest waft of wasabi. Nice. I've been wanting to try these. I've never had chocolate-coated grape-flavored anything, so... Ooh. You can smell the grape and you can smell the chocolate. You know what the texture reminds me of? There's this Milka chocolate bar with jelly beans and popping candy inside. And because it's so similar to that chocolate bar, I'm naturally expecting to like feel the popping candy in there. Obviously, there's none in this. Still, very nice. Back to anime. I'll show you the list that I sent myself through Gmail. What better show could follow Jujutsu Kaisen than Chainsaw Man? I really enjoyed it. Once again, the sexual slash pervy bits, did not enjoy them very much. But yeah, overall it's a wonderful show. Spy Family, the first anime in this journey that I watched and was kind of like, it's kind of bland. And then Parasyte, I had a good time watching it, but it didn't really hit me as much as I wished that it would, because it is quite serious and it's delivering this serious message. It didn't leave that big of a impression on me. Now, the Fable, let me put this up on the screen because I'm sure most of you haven't seen it. It's made by like a smallish production house and you can tell that the budget isn't that big, but I just randomly chose it and I didn't regret it. It's not a very memorable anime, nor is it something that I would strongly recommend to anyone. I quite enjoyed it. It was like sophisticated. They really tried their best with the show, and funnily enough, I did watch the Fable movies on Netflix as well afterwards. Those ones are, I don't like them. Psychic, It's super fast, isn't it? A lot of the humor kind of went past me as well because I was struggling to like keep up. So it wasn't actually as enjoyable as I was hoping that it would be, but I think at some point later on, maybe a couple of years later, I'll probably try watching it again and enjoy it a lot more, because hopefully I'll be able to watch it without subtitles at that point and understand all the jokes. Then JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Oh my god, let me put this up on the screen. I've got to say. I started JoJo's Bizarre Adventure being like, everybody talks so highly of it and mentions it all the time. Might as well get into it. And I was expecting some wonderful things. But then, oh my god, it was so hard to get through. I kept watching it because I'm like, well, it has to get good at some point. For me, it didn't get good up until maybe around here. Even Stardust Crusaders, I didn't really enjoy that much, apart from the Oingo and Boingo episode. The Oingo and Boingo episode? Beautiful. This is my favorite arc. It's casual, it's almost like a sitcom format. Obviously there's a lot of mysteries and the usual JoJo format involved. And then we move on to this. This is like highly dramatic and operatic. Over here, I was expecting some like crazy good shit. She turned out to be quite one-dimensional, so I was just glad when it was over, and I'll probably never watch it again, apart from the Oingo and Boingo episode. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I arrived at Samurai Champloo. This one is important, okay? It was summertime last year. Every evening, after spending a day of studying Japanese and running errands and doing chores and looking for a job, I would turn on Samurai Champloo. And I think of that time as fondly as like someone would think of their like university years. The stylistic choices, the script writing, the voice actors, the humor, the serious bits. It's just the peak of sophistication for an anime. So, time for another snack. Yuzu gummy. Lemon. Okay. Oh, it smells like lemony farts. You know when you open up like meat or a certain type of strawberry, it always smells of farts because that's what the protective gas smells like? I understand the practical need for it, but it's so unappetizing. I can't believe that, you know, by 2025, we haven't come up with a better solution apart from like fart smelling gas. Just me? Simple, yet enjoyable. Ooh, it's kind of a little zesty as well. Like, you can taste a little bit of the zest in there, but it's not bitter. It's just like all the flavor without the bitterness. And then while we're at it, sakura mochi. Almost smells like a really soft laundry detergent. Oh, it's kind of moist and sticky. Let me show you. I'll be honest, I've never been a fan of mochi. I can't say that I like hate it or could never eat it, but I haven't developed like a palate for it, I would say. Space Dandy, a much more recent show by Shinichiro Watanabe. Space Dandy felt a lot more experimental. The episodes between themselves could be very, very different in both like script and style. So it was very enjoyable, and there are like quite a few episodes that are dear to my heart, like where they go to this like plant kingdom or something, and then also the one with the rock band. That one was fun. And then Mononoke, the one I had on the screen at the very beginning. Kusuriyuri. Yeah, I love the style and the vibe. It's obviously stylistically very distinct. And I love the voice actor for Kusuriyuri. I know he has been involved in like some scandals and has been essentially banned from the industry. So the movie that came out recently, I didn't enjoy it as much because it's, you know, it's different pacing, a different color palette, also a different voice actor for the main character. But we're able to watch the original on Netflix and enjoy the voice voice acting in its full glory. This is the type of anime that I would recommend if I wanted to like slightly impress people. Like, yeah, I watch artsy fartsy stuff. Devilman Crybaby. It's a little strong, but the message didn't really hit me as hard as it should have. Cowboy Bebop would be enjoyed by like men who are now in their 40s or something. I just couldn't relate with the show. I think that's the case. And then Fruits Basket, I wouldn't really recommend it to anyone, which is strange because everyone talks so highly about it, especially like women, you know? I wasn't in it. My heart wasn't in it, so it was nothing like Ouran High School Host Club. No, I'm kidding. Banana Fish. Oh my god. At first I didn't even consider it because the plot was like government and like gangs and politics, and I was like, ugh. But then a couple weeks later, I just randomly like decided, okay, I'll give it a chance. Safe to say, I watched the anime and read the manga and watched the anime again. I actually have a whole folder titled Banana Fish. I essentially went through the manga and saved a bunch of frames that I liked. Let me find the there it is. I was so into this that I was actually thinking of like ordering a printed shirt. And if you haven't seen the anime and haven't read the manga, this is like the most random ridiculous just I can't describe to you, like you're reading the manga and action is happening and you feel the emotion and the tension building, and then you get like an atmospheric panel like this and the emotion. And then we have Dandadan. This is one of those animes where I tell people just get through the first 3 to 4 episodes and then afterwards it's gonna blow your mind. It's so wonderful. Hell's Paradise. This one I was actually very upset that it only had 1 season. It's good. I'm definitely intrigued by it. Berserk. Oh boy. The atmosphere of the 1997 anime, the music, the way it's made, the mood is executed so well. So then I watched Berserk, the Golden Age arc. I know a lot of people were upset about the CGI. I had no qualms. Once again, apart from the intense sexual scenes, I loved it so much that I've watched it I think 3 times at this point. I also watched Berserk 2016, which is kind of like a continuation. The CGI in that one is truly abysmal, and the way the story is told is not very good. The soundtrack is quite interesting, but apart from that, I would not recommend it to anyone. After watching these Berserks, I also started reading the manga. I have proof once again. The perfect ambient kind of atmospheric panel, and you're so full of emotion from the story that this hits you like a brick in the head. And you're like, oh my god. Oh, it's just so wonderful. The force, you can feel the weight of the sword and the blood and flying out. Can I show this on YouTube? Griffith, however, in the manga, just reminds me of Michael Jackson. Let's talk about freaking Gintama. Orenji no sora wa. Love-hate relationship with this one. At the beginning, I was feeling very good about it, and I was like, how can they stay funny for over 400 episodes? Spoiler alert, they don't. I'm more than halfway through right now, and at this point I can barely muster an episode a day. I feel like there's a lot of filler episodes. I really hate most of the serious arcs that they have in there because they're a little half-assed. This character is supposed to be nonchalant and not really caring about anything and kind of a goof, but when it comes to the serious arcs, they just turn him into this complete soap bar of a character, which means completely bland and boring. So when there is a good episode in here that I genuinely enjoy or can laugh at, I'm like, yes, I remember what I'm doing this for. This is actually good. And then it gets kind of below mid again, and I'm like, ugh. Let's try another snack. Blueberry gums. Such a strong smell. What the hell? It almost smells like pure spirit, like alcohol. Sour. Oh, it's grape flavor, not blueberry. My bad. That's nice. I think I'm a little too tipsy to like really evaluate the flavor of anything at this point, but good. Good. Strong zero. Bitter lemon. Fudeva. I think this is what the dude in Konbini Confessions drinks all the time. Konbini Confessions. Ooh, smell right away. I can smell it. Kanpai. It is bitter. What did you put in this? Sparkling water, lemon zest, lemon, vodka. All of the times where I ended up like face drunk and puking everywhere was from vodka. Okay, well, one can won't kill me, will it? And then we're moving on to shows. Ikebukuro Westgate Park. The script writing, not exactly the strongest at some points. The acting of the actors either, because they're quite young. But the stylistic vision and the mood and the vibe, from the editing to the soundtrack to the camera angles to just the general emotion of the show, it's so perfect. Tiger and Dragon. A similar cast of people. Obviously the main actor Tomoya Nagase is the same. I really like this show purely because it introduced me to rakugo, because I'm like kind of interested in learning anything about Japanese culture in like a mildly entertaining way. This was perfect. I was just locked in every episode and found it so fascinating. Ore no ie no hanashi. This one is the most adult and sophisticated one because obviously everyone's very much a sophisticated adult at this point. In order to appreciate it, I feel like you do need to have the context of the previous shows and be familiar with the actors and stuff like that. But once again, I had a wonderful time. I couldn't get enough of the main actor. Self-explanatory. So I went and watched My Boss, My Hero. Quite a silly show, but it's obviously silly on purpose. Yakuza dude ends up enrolling in high school because and he has to pretend to be a high school student. It's a fun plot. They have fun moments. I enjoyed it because of the main actor. So Kisarazu Cat's Eye. That one's on Netflix as well. At this point, I realized that I have a thing for like Japanese TV shows from late 90s to the 2000s. I love the atmosphere. Some of the writing was questionable for the show, but like I'm kind of used to it by this point. Futekisetsu ni mo Hodo ga aru. Extremely inappropriate. This one's on Netflix. I don't recommend this to anyone. I truly don't. The first time that they go into a musical bit, I thought that I was gonna crawl out of my skin. And I absolutely hated the ending of the show as well. It just turned into this whole stupefied message. Did not vibe with it. Beautiful Life. Once again, it's what, from the late 90s, early 2000s maybe? I fell in love with the first episode. But then as the story moved, it went into like kind of toxic and annoying territory. And then, major spoiler alert.
If want to avoid, skip here. Going back to the video on 3, 2, 1.
I can't remember the last time I felt the death of a character this much. When the main character died, it felt so real that I don't think I can watch it again anytime soon. Unubore, Deka, a comedy show, right? And it's very formulaic and kind of predictable, but the humor in it feels so free and organic, starting from like simple puns to physical humor. This was the first show where I genuinely laughed at a funny face that her character pulled. The main character in this show is how I wish I was in my daily life, which is like a conceited, goofy ass grown man. Sing it with me. Dead crowd. Let's try the Pocky Sticks. This one is Amondo Milk, Amondo Biscuit. Okay. Ooh, it's some little packets. That's so convenient. It looks kind of... Let's get the crunch in the microphone. There's not much of a crunch. It's really soft. Not a huge fan. Okay, I think that's that. All the snacks tried, the drinks tried. Can't believe I ended up with freaking vodka. Ooh. I took too big of a gulp and my body had a reaction to the vodka. The gang's all here. Me and my gang. Let's have something super Japanese in the background. Hold on. Sushi Mount Fuji HD. Japan. If you got to the end of this video, I'm very grateful that you let me geek out about Japanese stuff. As always, thank you so much for being here. And see you next time. Arigatou gozaimashita. I'm gonna come to Japan and make the earthquakes disappear.